Hello and welcome to a Dose of Raagz special episode 47. Is that it? I don't even know. It's been so long.
It's a great question. I don't know what episode this is.
I think it's 47.
48? 47?
It's the 47th, ironically, which is President Trump's presidential number. I mean, look, I want to first of all tell the folks out there, of course we miss you. Of course we love you. Of course we're not just being assholes, and we didn't just quit the podcast and not let you know. We had something special cooking up, which is that we've now become documentary makers. We've got some cool stuff lined up. I'm not going to tell you about really that cool now stuff. Because but we are going to be on the air, but we're going to be on the air more like once a month because we're working on our documentaries. But look, we wanted to do a special episode today because the world has undergone extreme changes in the past 3 weeks. I mean, obviously, Trump loves the month of January. Seems like this is when he decides to be toxic and sabotage himself and destroy the world around him. But yeah, we are in a place where history is writing itself on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. I mean, we just got the news in. One fucking piece of shit was fired. Fucking, what the fuck is the guy's name? The head of the IDF, ICE. He's fired today. Bongino?
Did he?
Yeah. He just got fired.
When did that happen?
He just got fired. I just fucking went right now, bitch.
Director Caleb
literally right now.
Yeah, right now. Bovino's out, and I think Kristi Noem's going to be next. She's going to be headed out. She's on very thin ice. Donald Trump, as you know, loves to put people in a position where they're taking the blame, as do most mafia organization bosses. So, and most corporate, whatever we have. So what's going on? I mean, folks, let's start off with, we are now in a new world. The United States of America, which has been extremely, I'd say, a very different country for a lot of different types of people, right? The experience is different for everybody. Whether it's the brown experience, which I encountered, you guys encountered, and that can also be different. The brown experience is different for brown females, brown males, brown Hispanics, brown Indians, brown Muslims, brown whatever, right? Everyone goes through a different experience. The black experience is even different for dark-skinned blacks versus light-skinned blacks. It's different than the Asian experience in America. And there's a lot of harassment, and there is a lot of, prejudice and racism. But now what we've gone to is escalated to full war. The federal government is taking on its citizens who do not comply. So we are at a stage of where our freedoms are up for grabs. They're at stake. And a lot of people aren't acknowledging that. I think I barely had sleep over the last 48 hours. This to me is alarming. I never thought in my life we'd see a tyranny. We would see living in fear. I'm a brown man. There's ice within a few miles of me. Now, they have not flooded LA like they have flooded Minnesota. But here we are, folks. And I know you guys, we're all just taking this in now very much one thing at a time, right? And listen, when you guys heard about what happened Saturday, what was your initial reaction?
Shock and disgust. And I've been thinking the same thing. It feels like our civil liberties and our human rights are just being violated. And I think this felt like kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back when I heard the news.
Of course. And go ahead.
And I'm just thinking, what do people have to do in order to, are we facing a time where we're talking about going back to a revolution like in the 60s in order to stop this from happening, like actual taking boots to the ground in terms of combat, or affecting the pockets of of him and his
we
whole
didn't really have a
administration.
real revolution in the 60s. We had we had a lot of protesting going. A revolution is a very, very, remember that word. It's a dangerous word, right? Because we're not there yet. I don't think we've ever been there as far as within my lifetime.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we had the civil rights movement, the Black Panthers,
Yes.
all, you know, and that's what I think when the FBI came, right, to put an end to that. I think the president at the time, I forgot what his name is, that's when he created the FBI in order
I think the Civil War was the last time. Yes. Right.
A real one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they wanted to avoid that in the 60s. But the government was under threat. I know they were getting scared of this happening.
Of course, and this is what's happening today. That's why
Mm-hmm.
this dude just got fired, right? And that's why people are on the chopping block. They're not. The funny thing is, the Republicans are still not like, no, fine, we'll pull ICE out. They're like, okay, we'll just fire these guys. This is obviously BS at the end of the day. They're just firing people, and they're continuing what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, they're just they're probably having a, you know, behind the scenes kind of handshake, you know, resignation kind of process or something like that. But I'm curious, did it say, was there a cause for termination documented anywhere?
I don't
you
know.
were
It's
able
just coming again. This is not even 100% official. It's not like Donald Trump's like, you're fired, you know, whatever the fuck he does. Like, this is just, obviously we're seeing reports of it, so I'm sure it's true, but we're just not seeing any official, again. I mean, look, let me tell the folks out there, we stopped being political. I stopped being political because I was tired of being political because it started taking up a lot of my fucking time and as far as my efforts, and I didn't see get much out of it. And now I'm like, I have to speak up. I want to be funny. I'm someone who loves being funny and loves talking shit, and I got to go back to that. I got to go back to my roots, and that's why I kind of like, okay, I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to do this. It's just not who I am, and it's not effective for me. But then I'm like, dude, I gotta speak the fuck up. I mean, this is insane. This is all we have is our voice and our purchasing power. That's all we have. Okay? And the voice doesn't matter unless it's used collectively. So that's why we're on the air right now, man. I think a lot of people are freaking confused, man, on how to feel. Especially since 77 million Americans are still extremely happy with possibly what's going on. I think that number's got to be down to about 60-something million. I think a lot of Republicans are going to realize that this is a police state that we're in, and it's coming to a neighborhood near you, whether you like it or not. As long as there's some type of undocumented people that are nearby, they're tracking their cell phones, they're listening to every word. This has now gone to a police state, right? When they're listening to every word. Now, look, most of us are about, following the Constitution, abiding by the Constitution, using our speech, not using our hands, not using our threats. We want to get things done in an orderly fashion. Everyone wants peace, no violence. But apparently violence is what changes things, man. And that's why it's gone to that, because ICE decided to murder people, right? It all started with Keith Porter. And that black man that was not documented even. He was out here in LA. He got killed. New Year's Eve. Keith Porter, off-duty ICE agent, a Fed agent, whatever the hell he was. Off-duty, number one. Mind your fucking business. Keith Porter, if you look at his background, his life, the guy's not getting any trouble. He's a straight shooter. He's a good guy. Somehow he had a rifle in his hand. He felt threatened by an off-duty. I can imagine an off-duty coming up, and I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of my name. Get a fuck out of my...
I don't remember the Keith Porter. Let me see that. Look that up real quick.
See, that's the thing. The national news agencies did not cover the black man getting shot. Only it started with Renee Good. So Keith, we have three people that have been murdered in the street by ICE.
So Keith Porter was after Good?
No, first New Year's Eve, December 31st.
First, he was the first one.
No reports. I didn't even know about. He's local to here, and I started hearing about it, but I'm confused because they made it look like Keith was trying to shoot a shotgun at this federal agent. They didn't. Anyway, this is the problem with our country. Our media is not covering that even. So we would have had, if they covered that, we would have had a 2-week start, and we could have been where we are now when Renee got killed. But we're behind now.
And this happened on New Year's Eve?
Yeah. Here at Northridge, LA.
Oh, so Northridge.
Near your neck of the woods.
Northridge.
Yeah, so we have to remember what the events that have taken place. People have been shot to death, and now this last one is execution style, with literally looking like something that occurred in Nazi Germany. And they're using the picture, they're lining it up. Here's the thing, man. Going to Renee Good, look at these instances. The right to bear arms is all Keith Porter did. He's killed for it. Renee Good, they killed her because they said she was driving into them. By the way, she was driving at 8 miles an hour. And by the way, me being 48 single, obviously I have an issue with relationships, right? And let me tell you how many women have been in the car. I've been yelling at them. Throughout my life, and I get in front of the car, and they are going to try to run me over going 8, 10 miles an hour. They're trying to go. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? You don't go. And I just moved out of the way. Okay? The car didn't run me over because you can avoid it at 8 miles an hour. Anyway.
She should be, hold on. She should be alive, and she should have went to jail that day, by the way. She should have went to jail for whatever, for the way she was behaving. She should have been in jail, taken into custody, and probably released on ROR or something like that. But she should be alive.
Look,
right? She didn't have to die that fucking day.
Practicing her first right for her freedom of speech, her freedom to protest, in my opinion. I get it. She did decide to leave when they say don't. But that's what happens with masked agents who are not identifying themselves clearly and who are being intimidating and threatening from the beginning and have hate in their heart.
And I feel like that's to me, that's what kind of stirs the pot to begin with anyway. It's like you got these intimidating figures coming with tactics that are extremely non-conventional and extremely fucking aggressive and putting fear, and you're putting people in a position where it's like comply or die, right?
Exactly.
Just like something we watched, that little doc we watched. I forgot that guy's name over there you shared yesterday.
Yeah. But he's a former veteran who, again, lived abroad, and he's really good insight to what's going on. He is extremely good to correlate it with history. He has a smart way of correlating it. Yes, our freedoms are at risk, and people don't understand. Well, why don't you just stay home? Because that is not American. That's what you do in Saudi Arabia. In America, we fight. We stand up.
Exactly. These are Gestapo tactics, straight up and down, and incites fear in people, and it causes people to panic, and then they get shot down and killed.
That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. We have peaceful protests going on. They are being extremely, extremely aggressive, okay? Extremely aggressive. And let me explain something to you. Eventually, ICE is going to get something happen. And I'm not going to celebrate that. I want to be clear here. I don't like ICE. It's a bunch of Proud Boys. If you told me a year ago, a bunch of Proud Boys and a bunch of January 6ers and a bunch of people that are angry and have no jobs are going to be given jobs to patrol the streets armed and to punk you, I'd be like, bully people out of here, bro. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Like they're getting paid to live out one of their dreams.
Bro, I think about how they had to be unemployed. You can't just leave your job that quick.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's a bunch of them, man. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay, well, most of them were unemployed. Let's be honest. Most of them were not able to get into police academy. Most of them were not able to join the armed forces, or they did and they failed. Most of them were not able to be firemen. They were sitting on their keyboard gangsting, being keyboard gangsters, and then they got. You want to join ICE? And now it's a 6-minute freaking interview with no background check to join ICE.
I heard a lot of these ICE guys are made up of IDF soldiers. I heard they just switched uniforms.
Former IDF soldiers too, and they look like it based on their actions because IDF is extremely aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
We see their tactics.
Yep.
It's hit first, ask later.
It could be inspired by IDF, absolutely. Sure.
They're trained by IDF, not inspired, Dous. They are trained by the IDF. You understand that,
same
right?
Thing. They work. That works together to me.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. They're already working together. But now what's different is the IDF trains them. But now the IDF's like, matter of fact, let me just join y'all. right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look, I think that we have to remember everything is being. They're listening to everything. They're reading everything. Your TikTok is now, you can't say certain words on there. You can't be anti-Trump. And look, I am not about being anti-Trump. I'm about being pro-American. I'm about living my life in peace and not feeling scared. I have the lady who does my eyebrows. She's like, I decided to cancel my trip to Nepal. Me and my family's on the list of the 75 countries that Trump says you can't come from. So now I cancel my family. I'm scared. I have young kids. We are scared. We came to this country and we are scared. Okay. And again, this is what's been happening to black people forever. Yes. I think now we've even leveled up from there now, because now it's just like no warrants they need, and they'll shoot you with total immunity. At least at least some of the people that shoot black people are getting prosecuted. Now,
Not enough,
right
though.
now, we don't have
Not nearly enough.
No, of course, I'm not saying that. We have a long way to go, bro. We are a fucked up country. But now, if we do that, they don't need a warrant to come into my home. What's just the fucking point of being America, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? You at least need a warrant to go into the hood, right? To someone's house. You at least need a warrant to go and a rich person's house. Now it doesn't matter. Now that's done. That's the one thing we all had in common. You need a warrant to come into my house. Yes, I'm sure they violated that. But that is it's hard to violate that, because if you bring that to the judge is going to throw the case out if you went out without a warrant, right? So this is the line where kind of the equality was. I know there's no such thing as equality, but there's a one thing I could rely on, that warrant, right? That's gone. So they could come in my house right now because I'm on this podcast, because I'm on my social media. They could say, Mr. Cowher, you are a domestic terrorist. I said, wait.
God forbid something like that ever happens. And by the way, do you walk around with your passport now?
I walk around with a copy of my passport on my phone, but now I'm thinking maybe I should walk around with a passport. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know a guy who's undocumented. He's going through it, man. He's going out at night to work out. He's hiding. Okay? He is from another Middle East country. He came here on a travel visa. Where he's from, it's real fucked. Okay? He don't want to go back because it's literally going to hell for him. Okay? This is what America was supposed to be about. Bring your sick, bring the people to
or
us.
you're hungry, yeah.
And bro, America doesn't have a proper system of immigration. It's all effed up. And I work in, my day job is in recruiting, getting people onboarded that are visas. Indians have to be here for 15 to 20 years before they can go from being a freaking visa holder to a green card holder. That's how long it takes. Other races, whites, Russians, it takes less time. Okay, people from other countries, even less time. It's Indians that takes the longest. So there's already racism within the system itself for the process, and then it's a corrupt process. It's a process with money process. And what about asylum? They're just fuck that. We're done. No sanctuary cities, no asylum. People they're putting into cages, into these ICE facilities, where some of them kids are crying. They're putting people. There's people they're putting in that came here as children from countries like Mexico, from countries around the world that they don't even know and they don't even have connection to.
Days.
Their parents brought them here. Days, months. Look, I think what we have to remember here, and this is what scares me. There's a lot of Trumpers celebrating these deaths. You're seeing these memes. How's ICE doing? Pretty good. They're using their last names. That's sickening. Okay? Fucking sickening. Okay?
Bro, I saw a video the other day. This poor lady, she was being fucking dragged by fucking ICE soldiers. Like, elderly immigrant lady being dragged, and it fucking horrified
lady being dragged
and disgusted. and I look at the comments, and I'm saying people here,
fuck
people
around,
comment,
find
good.
out.
Yeah, good. Or like supporting this. I'm like, what?
I don't want to take a vaccine people. These are the don't tread on me people. These are like, oh, you want to make a nation an digital ID database? Fuck you. Now, you should parry your papers.
I was like, this is disgusting. Like, what's happening?
Donald Trump is now showing signs of being a tyrant, man, because he's implementing these very scary tactics, man. It scares the fuck out of me. I'll be honest with you. I mean, why can't Donald Trump just go back to pedophilia, not paying his taxes, being a bad business owner, being a shitty husband, being a shitty father?
What if all of this is really a grand scheme to keep us distracted from this?
That's the bottom line. This is the elites versus us. Okay, the Grandmaster plan is to push AI on us. That's what they're doing. They're marketing AI. It's like, well, AI is going to pay you so much money. You're going to have money. You're going to have money. From where? Anybody, anytime someone's been like, oh, I got you, yo. And I don't know them well. They don't got me, okay? It is a Grandmaster plan. The elites have their bunkers. They got all their shit. We're fucking taking up resources. I'm
curious about coming back to Minnesota real quick. I'm curious about something else. Is it true that Trump basically asked Walz for voting records?
Pam Bondi said, if you want me out of here, just give me the voting records. That's a letter. And that's what today they had a 3-hour appearance. They're trying to get a restraining order against ICE. And the judge, Spanish last name, I was like, thank God. Looking at the case, Spanish last name, she kept questioning the DOJ's lawyer. Like, wait, why are you coming here and doing it this way and stuff like? None of this makes sense.
Well. Here's my follow-up question. Then I'm genuinely curious. I don't know enough. Is it conventional for presidents or the Pam Bondis and her predecessors to ask governors for those types of records?
These are the state's decisions. The state, that's what the whole point. The state gets to make this decision. This is what the state is there for. That's them. This is our state. We get to decide these things.
No, okay, fine. But has presidents asked other states for the records in the past?
They can't. That's state property, bro. That's their shit.
What do you mean? I'm sure just because it's a state doesn't mean they can't seek permission. They can seek permission, right? I'm trying to understand how unprecedented it was for Pam Bondi to ask for that. That's why.
Obviously, from very unprecedented because they bring it up. I don't know about if it's ever been done before. I don't know about that, but I do know that it's none of the fucking feds' business.
I want to make sure that it wasn't done in the past and it was a nothing burger. It's typically a nothing burger, but this time, just because they're not fucking with each other, they're making it into something bigger than a nothing burger. I'm just wondering. I don't know the facts.
I'm gonna find out for you right now.
I would love to know if this is something that administrations typically do.
Has the federal government ever requested voter records, as Pam Bondi did of Minnesota?
I know it's a serious topic, but every now and then
but it's extremely rare, controversial, and most often rejected by the states and courts.
Okay.
What Pam Bondi recently did by asking Minnesota to hand over its detailed voter registration record isn't without precedent in the broad sense that federal officials have previously sought voter data from states. It's very unusual for the federal executive branch to make a direct demand like this, and states and courts have pushed back hard each time.
Okay, with follow
2017, they tried.
Really, Trump. So, but has there ever been the other way around, like an Obama? Has Obama ever asked for Minnesota's voter records, for example? Any president successfully? Even better question.
Did any previous presidents attempt to do this
successfully?
I said even attempt. I want to know about attempt. I want to know who's asking.
Okay, fine.
Trump. Other before there's no modern president or president created
No.
a federal or executive request asking all states to hand over detain. So he tried to get all states to do it in 2017. Trump in 2017 said, "Give me all the states." Shit.
Who complied then? All the red states, I bet. Right?
I don't think any did.
That'd be interesting.
In 2017, did any states comply? Fucking talk to text. Did you ever think about the fact when you talk to text, like sometimes it takes longer to actually correct the errors that it did for you than it did to actually just fucking type it in? Especially when I'm driving and I'm talking to text, like fuck, and then I got to do it one hand while I'm steering. Hey.
I don't have that problem. I have a Tesla.
Oh, fuck you. Guess what? You got a flat tire the other day, and motherfucker, you had to be driven around like for 18 hours.
Yeah.
Shout out to undocumented work.
Shout out to Ehab, man. Look me up. I gotta get this camera
No
fixed.
states fully complied with Trump.
No way. So both red and blue states.
Overwhelming majority. Okay. No state complied. Partial or limited responses. Let's see. Even those weren't full compliant. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's just a lot. Anyway.
Okay. I like that. Well, hey, man, we're fact checking right in the middle of our podcast, right in the middle of our episode. That's what matters the most, bro. Getting the right shit. Absolutely. Right, Jay?
When
the hell did you get that beanie hat, Jay? When did you get that beanie hat?
When did you start becoming the drummer for Green Day?
What the hell?
Yeah, my hair's all fucked. You see all the grays out and everything, God. Man. I'm gonna rock the beanie right now.
When did you start looking like Admi? What's going on?
So much shoveling yesterday.
Look, you know what's crazy? It's like, why isn't anyone that's sitting around Trump, like his kids, being like, Dad, you're fucking up, man. Like, yo, we can't be shooting people in the street in the head. And let me tell you, before you answer, I've had that talk with my dad. I remember in 5th grade, I said to my dad, hey, Dad, I think you got to wear deodorant. It was a tough conversation. No one wants to tell their father what you got to do. And the only reason I did that was because my 5th grade teacher had told me, you got to start wearing deodorant. I go, what's deodorant? So I'm like, damn. So I went home, and then listen, even just as recently as...
By the way, that's tough for a teacher, too, I think.
Listen.
Is it not?
Not if you're white. Kid, listen. I want to be clear that we need black people, brown people, yellow people, white people. We all need each other in this. Yeah. Everyone needs to be connected here. You can't look at it like... Black people can't look at it like this is brown people problem. Yellow people can't look like this brown people problem because they're coming for you next. And they're already showing that because they skipped over y'all and went right. And they're already fucking with black people. See that? And that's the fucking for some Asians. They went straight to killing and executing their own people because this is not about race. This is about power. This is about control.
Absolutely.
So
the way I look at it, there's so many things that have been going on that just cause me mental anguish, right? Like
I can tell with that beanie.
Yeah, see? I look like it's affected me, you know?
I look at all of us right now. We look tired. We look confused.
Yeah.
We look...
I'm very confused.
It's really, it's 100% upsetting, right? So this guy started off by cutting federal programs that promote minority health and diversity, right? He threatened schools that had diversity programs implemented, that he was going to cut federal aid to colleges and schools, right? We all have freedom of expression and freedom to protest. He's actually gone and arrested people for exercising those rights when all people on the college campuses were against the war in Gaza and supporting the rights of Palestinians. He went in and actually arrested people for protesting. That these are all violations of our basic human and civil rights. It's like we're seeing this pattern. It's slowly. I feel like he's tightening the noose.
I say I love Jews, but I hate supremacists. I hate what they're doing because it's killing innocent people. And now, am I anti-Semitic? No, I'm clearly not, bro. But the fact is that I have been accused by people of that. Okay.
Well, you know how it is. You can't.
I'm not against white people because
can't.
I'm not against the people of Arabic because the UAE is fucking up Sudan. right? I'm
No,
against
you know what it is, man.
oppression.
You can't hold someone else accountable, some other
I'm
culture
not
accountable for
against.
something.
I want the
Apparently,
people
if you
to be
hold
free.
if you hold accountability, if you try to hold someone or something accountable, and they push back like that,
No.
I mean, that's what their problem is right there. You just
Look.
can't anything that if you hold them accountable, then you're all automatically anti-Semitic right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I want my money to go to freeing of Iranian people. I'm proud to do that. You know why? Because people are suffering. And that's all I have to look at. People are suffering, and what's the cause of their suffering? It's all I look at. I'm not looking at the finer details of, oh, they did this or that. Wait, what's going on? Children are being murdered? Protesters are being murdered for standing up for their rights? People are, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. At the end of the day, people need to learn to live together. Yes. But it's very hard to live under an oppressor.
Right.
It's impossible.
And I think he's taken a age-old tactic that our foreign president does, as take a non-issue and conflate it and bring fear, right? So what he's saying, the immigrants are the cause of we're not having jobs, and they blame all the crime in this country on illegal immigrants.
Listen to this, though. Listen to this. That wasn't even it. What they did even worse, even obvious, even sneakier this time. They had that propaganda about immigrants. In this case, they said Somalian immigrants are committing billions of dollars of fraud. They're all back. Like, that is the craziest propaganda I've ever seen. And they pushed it through some retard named Shirley Nick.
Right.
Bro, that's propaganda. Okay, first of all, they pick Somalians. Okay, first of all, the lady who's running the fucking, the main head bitch is white. First of all, there's a lot of fraud that happened during the pandemic. People are desperate to fucking get money. Okay, that's not a fucking race thing. Okay, people are desperate to get money.
He's the last person that should be talking about fraud. You know what I mean? He's the absolute last person on earth that should be talking about fraud. You know, it's insane.
Most of his money has come from fraud.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they start there, and this is why I think he's brainwashed people to cheer on these ICE guys. You know, because this is what
they've been brainwashed for 10, 15 years now. This has been establishing, and now the brainwashing is so deep and fucking rooted in to the point where they can't see straight, and they're cheering on at public executions.
You know, it's really I'm really fascinated that both sides say that about the other. You're just brainwashed. They just all brainwashed.
So bad.
Yeah,
listen. Here's the difference. Both sides are kind of brainwashed, but a Trumper whose family member's a Democrat could watch them get executed in the street, and Trump would be like, "Told her not to fuck around."
Yeah.
That I don't even think a Democrat would take it. I think a Democrat who's Trumper family down would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't." You know, like maybe not. I don't know. Some cases, maybe not, but. I feel like, look, if an ICE person got hurt, I would feel fucking horrible because they have a family. They made a wrong decision. They're fucked up in their life, and they were angry, and they were kind of a loser, and they made the wrong decision, but it doesn't mean they should die. At the same time, if they want to kill someone, maybe they need to, get some help and be put away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and this is the thing that's crazy, right? We have homeless people in this country. We have veterans that need to be taken care of. We need jobs and economy. Instead of blaming illegal immigrants, how about not give $1.2 billion annually or tax dollars to Israel?
Listen, I don't want to give any money to anybody except if it's fucking 100% going to improve people's lives.
Exactly. We don't have a say in this.
I'm not going to sit there and say I don't want my money going to any country.
Look, really hard to trust
if Israel was helping the Palestinian people and creating an equal state,
right?
Give them fucking money, but that's not what's happening, man. So Look,
You know, are the tweets from the Department of Homeland Security originated in Israel now? Like,
I
there's
saw that. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy. Homeland Security. Think about that. Those tweets
No.
are originating from Israel. That's how entrenched we are.
By the way, I'm not suicidal. We say that, we laugh.
Are you sure about that? We have to be abundantly clear about that, Raagz.
Look, I think that I've had to explain this to some of my white friends. They're like, dude, you're fine, dude. Yeah, I said, you're fucking fine, bitch. They coming up to me and being like, where's your papers? Who the fuck are you? That's the difference. They're not walking up to you and doing that. And they haven't done it to me yet, but I've seen it fucking happen. And it's happening within 2 miles of me. It's happening to people that I know or know of.
Are they
I'll tell you
coming
what, my
up to?
parents are shook. Like
Yeah, they're
messages.
scared old fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in a fear now. That is fucking called tyranny, man. That's
Are you-
terrorism.
Yeah.
Are you, Jay? Do you walk around in fear right now, Jay?
Me personally, no. I'm not for myself, but for other people, like even my parents, my mom has an accent. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
if Jay lived in the hood, he would. Okay? If Jay lived in the fucking Mexican neighborhood, he would.
Yeah.
Because
If
now
I,
you're like,
if I did,
fuck.
I would.
You know.
Let me ask you this
I don't
question:
know.
if do you think they're just as aggressive with someone who has no accent whatsoever?
I think if you're brown,
If
yes.
you're brown, yeah. I think
If
So if
you're
they came
yellow,
up to you,
yes.
if
You're black, yes.
if you had to be if you just at the wrong place at the wrong time, Jay, you think that they would be just as aggressive with you after having like 30-second interaction with you, less than 30-second
Come
interaction
on, that's
with
not
you?
a fair question, Dous, because I would be aggressive with him if I saw him with that beanie.
Yeah, I mean, just by looking at me, I think they would. Yeah, you know.
Dous, yes.
Mhm.
We live in white neighborhoods, okay? We are protected. We live in...
What about after talking to you though for a few seconds?
I think that depends on how much I comply and be
During
their
the
bitch.
Q&A process.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, sir, I have my passport here. Take my name and information down. Sure, take a picture of my eyes. Take that fucking fish, AI shit.
Yeah.
But do I want that?
I imagine if that interaction ever were to happen with me, and if I just genuinely didn't have my ID, would I be able to talk myself out of it?
You'd hope so, right? In your head that you.
But I mean, why are so many citizens getting locked up?
But then again, I think it's an issue where I have to prove myself. You know, just the fact that someone could question my thing walking down the street, that bothers me. You know.
I think what happens is they look for you to get you. The average person, almost anyone, the human instinct is to get a little defensive and then potentially panic. Mm-hmm. And then when you do that, they look for that kind of weakness, I guess they'll say, and then they use that as an opportunity to like leverage it.
Black people been telling us for a long time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Stop and
and now, look, I felt discrimination my whole life. I've been spit on, been bullied. I've been looked down upon my whole life. I'm used to that. You know what I mean? I'm so used to the white people looking down on me and treating me differently. But now I'm not used to having no rights. I at least thought the warrant thing was there. I at least thought that I could walk down the street and not get searched and not get frisked and not get detained. And that's what happens to black people. It happens to them. Mm-hmm. They get detained, they get searched. Frisk, what is it? Frisk and what?
Stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk, yeah.
So,
listen, coming up, 18, 19, 20, late teens, I felt a lot more safer. If I was in a car with a bunch of black kids, I know there was always opportunities to get pulled over. Okay. And it actually, I saw that shit, right? It was completely different when I'm in a car with a whole bunch of white kids.
Well, yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. Now, I would say that at that point, I don't think it's a black thing, because I think when you're in the car with a bunch of brown motherfuckers, it's about the same thing, right?
But the point is,
I think the black experience is different.
Psychologically, you believe that, though.
You start to understand what that is. But So what I think the difference is that black people have been searched and frisked when they're walking and violations of rights on the ground. You in your car, once you're in your car, you don't have rights, right? But when you're on your feet, you have way more rights. And that's what black people's rights have been violated from day one. They started it after slavery with the loitering, right? They set this whole system up so they could fuck themselves and be in the system, and which would also be enslaved by the system then, even if you're not a slave. So what we have here is a system of complete control. And let me tell you something. I don't see a solution because there's 70-something million Trumpers who are not coming around. Even if we were willing to compromise, they're not willing to compromise. They have this.
What's a compromise?
Compromise is we say, hey, so how about people that were here as kids, brought here as kids who have no control over coming here, who brought here when they're 5 years old, Mexicans, Indian, whoever the fuck, and they're 24 now. How about just give them a path to citizenship because they're kids? They don't agree to that, okay? They're not agreeing to refugees. They're not agreeing to,
I think there's a chance they could get to that at some point.
Oh, you think there's a shit? Oh, so Trump would be like, you know what? You're right.
I think there's always a chance that come on, you gotta. I mean,
there's a chance. It looks just like at the end of fucking Dumb and Dumber, that those girls are there for those guys. I mean, that's not sorry.
So there's a chance. There's a chance.
They're telling me there's a chance. Yeah, the wrong part of the movie.
Telling me there's a chance. What are the chances? What are the chances that Jay, you go to work with that beanie on? Do you go to work with that beanie on too? Do you?
Well, yeah, no? I do. When I come into the office, I'll take it off. When I'm in, when I take that long walk from the parking lot.
But he's still got the Wu-Tang sweater on, so you might as well leave the beanie on.
I'll stick this one.
It doesn't mess up your hair?
Huh?
It doesn't mess up your hair?
5 hours sleep over the last fucking 2 days. I'm fucking...
but I will say this. Amidst all this shit news and everything going on, the one thing that did bring a ray of sunshine is, I don't know if you guys have been seeing the monk walk that they've marked. They've walked across from Texas.
Yeah, what's
to
the ray of
Washington.
sunshine? That white rednecks are fucking with them?
Nah, well, that was one incident, but I saw thousands of people, black, white, everybody marching with them and like literally.
Yeah, bro, we have that unity. That's happening all over the protests. That's happening everywhere with protests already.
Yeah,
we have this unity already. It's not about race. We want to be free. We want to celebrate fucking our freedom. We want to practice our freedom.
Yeah, so I think the people that we're in the majority, peaceful, like you said, most of us just want to provide for our families and want to live in peace, We
have 190 million Americans that agree with what we are saying.
Yeah, exactly.
We have 70-something million Americans or whatever
that are
angry.
That are on the other side. And I'm thinking the only way, like, how can we put an end to this? Either with violence or economy. Either has to hurt their pockets or hurt them physically.
That's number one, is we're going to start with striking. We're going to start with boycott companies like Walmart and Target and Amazon and Coca-Cola and Papa John's and, all these other fucking ones that I don't even
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And it's important because that's how black people made big fucking impact during the civil rights movement. Huge impact. So, but here's the real thing, man. I don't think it'll work in the long run, but I do, and we're going to try. But I will tell you this. My thing right now is, why don't we do this? Okay. Trumpers, you're angry. You need some outlet. We are angry. Why don't we have a fight club? Number one, let's have a fight club. Let's fight it out. Let's get that anger out. And maybe after that, you'll feel a little bit more peace if you got your ass beat or you beat someone's ass. Because you'll release this tension, right? And that's number one, okay? Because if you're that angry and you need to see people executed and you're going to celebrate on social fucking media, then maybe you need to fucking get beat up or try to beat someone up. Because that's how much fucked up you have in your head. But the real solution here, I'm going to be honest with you guys, is...
Tell me.
2-state solution. Simple.
2-state solution.
We have a 2-state solution because we're too far gone. And there's 70-something million, 77.8 million people, whatever, voted for Trump. Say that number's down to about 70 million. 70 million people. We hold a vote. Okay, that's 22 20% of the population, right? We hold the vote, popular vote. We find out the red states with the most concentration. You guys keep those. We find the blue states with the most concentration. We keep those. The swing states, we do popular vote. Not even fucking goddamn fucking other bullshit that we've been doing. Popular fucking vote. Straight up in those states. And whoever wins, wins. And then if you don't want to stay there because now that's a red state or blue state, you have the option. Let's become two different countries. I think that's so fair.
And I'm sure it'd be a fully diplomatic way to get there too. I'm sure. No
Vote.
civil
It's
war or anything
simple.
like
What do you
that.
mean vote? Vote. Well, listen, California's going to be blue. New York's going to be blue. Jersey's going to be blue. And Ohio, swing state. Pennsylvania, swing state. Guess what? They'll decide that. In the end of the day, what more fair way? We are like a fucking couple that hates each other after so many years. I can't stand to look at them. Like, I've had girlfriends that stare at me when I'm eating. They're like, oh. You know what I mean? Like, they see me chewing. They're angry. Stop chewing so loud, asshole.
You did say one tried to run you over with your car.
Multiple. Just not like you run me over with a car. That's the point. They try to just run off, right? And obviously, my point is just, that's a solution. Listen, look, I'm sure Pennsylvania will swing blue once that happens. I'm sure
You think
Ohio will swing red when that happens. And that's fine. Florida's going to be red. So you got your fucking shit. Texas is going to be red. It'll be fair as fuck. And a lot of the red states are grouped together. A lot of the blue states are grouped together.
They get a lot of the warm states, man. Fuck.
Bro, you live in Jersey.
Texas.
Where you go? Okay. How often have you been
Florida.
to Arizona and Texas?
Huh? How often?
Yeah.
I can count with one hand or less.
Exactly.
That's how often.
Blue states
Arizona
are the ones with
once,
the money.
Texas twice, Arizona once.
Okay, man. And then it has to be some sacrifice. So you going to Texas again once in your life is going to be a sacrifice.
I don't want a two-state solution, man. I want to work it out.
It'll be
There's
divided
no
states of America.
Anymore, bro. There's no. Listen, we don't see eye to eye. These people hate us. They're celebrating the death
That's
of us.
okay. That's okay.
That's okay. They're
we don't
celebrating the death of us. You're okay with that?
No, I mean, it's okay not to see eye to eye. That
It's
should
not
be
okay to celebrate our death.
Of course not.
Okay, but that's what they're doing, so it's over, bro. There's no coming back from that.
But don't you want to get to a place where you?
How do you
can
get to a
just
place where
coexist?
they're saying you're going to die?
I don't know how you get there, Rags. I'm just
There's
saying
no
there's
way
got
to
to be a
get
way.
there. Take a hit of your pen and fucking realize there's no way to get there because it's gone too far. And they're saying, we want to kill you. They're making fun of people that are dead. They're saying, yes, that was a good shot. Righteous shot.
I don't want a two-state
It's
solution.
over, bro.
I don't want a two-state solution.
Then it comes the
That's
United States
what you
of
want, Jay?
America.
You want a two-state solution?
First,
I
you
don't
can't
think
even
it'll
give me a
ever
good
happen.
reason why you don't want a two-state solution. Give me a good reason.
Why? You give me a good reason why we have to. Because they wanted you dead. That's why we have to. That's a good reason.
Because we are completely different as far as government. They believe in fucking no abortion. We believe in abortion. They don't believe in human rights. We believe in human rights. You can't negotiate human rights. You can't negotiate abortion. There's no half an abortion, dude. It's a completely.
How can you be so sure there's no way out?
Because
how can you be so sure?
Did you not hear me? They don't believe in abortion. They believe in women not having no right over their body. That's not. They're not changing that.
They've always been that way, though, Rags. They've always felt that way.
Now in their states, you can't get an abortion. So might as well just. Do you not understand? You're not getting it, dude. They want
what am I not getting? Tell me what am I not getting? Tell me what I'm not getting.
They want different laws than we do. Why not separate if they want different laws?
Oh, you're coming. Listen, you're the one that's suggesting something that is very, very, very way far on another side right now. It's like you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking outside the box by trying to divide the United States legally into a two-state.
Dude, it's done already. It's divided already, bro. Mentally.
Yeah,
they're celebrating our
not
death.
Legally. That's what I'm saying.
They want to kill us.
Jay, do you believe in this?
I don't think it'll happen. No.
No. That's not whether you think it'll happen or not. He thinks that's the solution. Do you think that's the solution?
I don't. Honestly, I don't know.
I know it's a solution because
I think
you guys don't.
Morally,
I've seen this.
Morally, yeah, we are divided, but I mean, I don't think it's feasible at all. That's the thing.
All right, explain to me. Anu, explain this to me seriously. How would that? No, how do we get there peacefully? You really see
Vote.
a civil that will not. There's just too much. That won't happen. I don't think that'll happen.
Let me tell you something right now.
I think we'll go down there. I think in order for your solution, here, let me tell you why. Here's the ultimate reason. I don't believe it'll happen diplomatically. I believe to get to where you're talking to, there would be some kind of civil war.
Dous.
That's what I believe. And that's why I don't believe
Dous, they're 20% of the population.
Okay?
It wouldn't even be a war. We destroy them. They're 20% of the population. Do you understand that, right?
You can say that definitively that there would be no war, bro. You're gonna sit here and guarantee that to me?
I'm telling you right now, we would destroy them because we have 190 million. They have fucking 70. We have 3 times what they have almost.
It doesn't mean it won't happen. It doesn't mean it won't happen.
What do you mean? If it happens, we'll destroy them because we have 3 times the people.
How many people do you know who have to? How many people have to die on either side, bro? Even for every
you sound like a fucking idiot because you know why? This type of thought process has not worked. This is what people have been saying for the last 20 years about this.
Right, but you're being hypocritical right now. Because for every one person, listen, even if the ratio was 1 to 10, all right, 1 to 10, one person on the north dying, or not the north, whatever the fuck, the blue, and then for every 10 that dies in the red.
Let me ask you this.
You don't want to sacrifice that one? You want to sacrifice that one?
Let me ask you this. So should the people of Iran negotiate with the leadership? Should they?
I'm not living in there. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to tell them what they should or should.
Or should they get their freedom?
And by the way, you know that's true too because we talked about that earlier. By the way,
I'm telling you, they deserve their freedom.
Yes, of course they do.
Okay,
we agree with that.
There's no negotiating. There's no negotiating. Give them their own rules and their own laws.
Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. They've figured it out themselves. What do you mean?
Let them figure it out, but give them their territories, 20% of the land that they deserve.
But like, even for example, right, on both sides, even on blue and red, the leaders are in the pockets of AIPAC. You know, Israel's about both sides.
Let me explain something to you, brother. Let me explain something to you, brother. That's a different issue.
I mean, but it's one of the
one
issues.
issue at a time. You're not going to be like, okay, well now we don't have okay. What you're saying now is to just get rid of all the government, and I love that. But that's not. That would be a crazy thing to just get rid of all the government, and I would love that. But then there's no way to fix it because you need some type of government in place to put in some type of rules, so we have some type of civil fucking obedience.
They need to get rid of these parties, though.
I know I'm being harsh, Dous, and I apologize for being so.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
You do because you want to hug a Trumper and you want to give him a fucking reach around.
Oh my god!
I'm kidding. Look. There's no real solution right now that any of us can think of that's going to be logical. You're right, and this is just a solution.
Hold on. Let's be clear about this. You're calling me wanting to hug a Trumper when you're the one talking about splitting this fucking country into 2.
What I'm saying is give everyone what they want. Give Trumpers what they want.
Whatever
give us
happened
what we
to
want.
This land is your land. This land is my land. For
they
you
don't
and me.
Want that. They're saying you guys have.
They
no
made
rights.
That song. They wrote that song.
They love right now. They love treading. They want to be tread on. I don't. I don't want to have to show my papers. They're saying that's totally fine. They're saying a woman should have a control of her body. I think she should. They're saying that guess what? At the end of the day, human rights are not as important as you're not supposed to teach children about the real Black history. You're not supposed to teach children.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Those ideals are so far apart, brother. Anyway,
my issue with that is how do you get there? And I think we might be able to compromise on your solution, but I can't. But where you lose me is how you get there, and that's my main reason, my main argument.
My point to you is this: how I get there is how you do it fairly. But that's easy. That's easy said than done. But listen,
being practical, man.
But listen, in the end of the day, at this point, I am not a politician who understands. I am not a historian. I am someone who just wants to be free in my country, and I don't want to have to fucking deal with someone who's angry at me for believing what I believe, and therefore wanting to have a confrontation with me because I believe in the things I believe and they believe differently. And
Let me
that's
ask you something else too. Does that mean if you are blue, you have to live in a blue state? under that solution?
No, listen, you make the decision of which place you want to go in the beginning, but you can't go back on that.
What does that mean? You can't move back to the
No,
other
then
side?
you can reapply, and they have to go through their process to get to there, and they can say no, just like any other country.
Oof. Oof.
What do you mean? Oof? So Alabama, you got to get there? Like, well, I don't get it.
What do you mean? Like,
Listen,
I mean,
Dous, you can still travel to there. I'm not saying don't travel. It's just that you're now a citizen of New Jersey, of the United States. You're not a citizen of MAGA. Okay, MAGA has its own citizen. The United States has their own citizen. MAGA people can't even travel to us, it's just like we could travel there, right? As long as we're not fucking killing each other, man. Look, I'm not saying let's separate to the point where this is like Israel-Palestine. I'm saying it's two-state solution. I'm not saying apartheid. I'm saying we still can fucking get along. Listen, it's like a woman and man who are divorced, but they live in the same house still, and they actually get along better now.
Yeah, that's. How often does that happen? By the way,
But it happens,
Right,
man.
that's my point. The chances the chances of that happening is lower than the chances of it.
Okay, wait.
Not
Listen to
happening.
this though. There's a lot of cases of people that got divorced and now have better relationships. Now, maybe don't live in the same house, but now have better relationships after divorce.
They're civil with each other,
Yes.
right? And sometimes how did they get to that? Sometimes they go through a lot of bumps to get to that
What are we
civil
doing
point.
right now?
Okay.
I'm doing more bumps than fucking Hunter Biden in the fucking basement. We're getting executed. Fucking Gestapo. Fucking back of the head. 10 times. Unload. And then clapping. He clapped. The motherfucker clapped after he saw a man's brains blown out. That's gone too far, bro. No regret. No guilt. You killed an ICU nurse who's better than me, who's better than the both of you, who've done more for this country than any of them, who saved people's lives. My cousin is a doctor. You tell him how hard a fucking ICU nurse's job is? Hardest job in the fucking world.
Wait a minute.
ER.
We've moved on. Just to be clear, we've moved on from splitting the into a two-state solution, right?
Well, look, I think the most
Because I don't want to. I no. See, listen. I don't want to create the perception that you're advocating because this happened in Minneapolis. That's why we have to do this.
I'm advocating. The fact is that it's one of the events that has led me to believe there is no going back and negotiating anymore.
And that's why I wanted to make that clear. By the way,
there's a lot of events that have happened. This is the ice, like you said. This is the fucking the straw that broke the camel's back. And there's Keith Porter, Renee Good.
Yep.
How about 40 people dying in ICE custody, bro? Who are not criminals.
yes,
Who are fathers, who are mothers, sisters, crying in their cells all day and all night. And I'll tell you what, I've been crying in a fucking cell. So I know how that fucking feels. So fuck that. End the fucking show. Look, we love you guys. We want peace. We don't want violence. Let's boycott. Let's strike. Let's do what we can. Keep your voice loud. Keep paying attention. I know it's hard, but you got to remember, man, these are intense times. Escalation's happening very quickly. And that guy, we de-escalated today with this guy getting fired. Thank God some sense has been knocked into. But I think that's all bullshit. I think it's scapegoat shit. I think we're still going to head down a really fucked up path here because we're dealing with someone who power fucking drunk on power. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to close with?
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, and we're going to tell you about the documentary we're doing anyway. But it's called Two-State Solution. No kidding. But I think that might be one, baby.